mixed at the moment?
Yep, got the P.
We're doing my initials, PS. Well, my 2 initials. Phoenix Shane. So.
How about you were the wrong?
Postscript?
I had to wait for like a whole hour once because she had to do my whole arm. Because my friend drew something on my arm and she's Somalian, so my mom, right here, put henna over what she did.
Because she did it in washable marker, so we wanted to make it last longer. And so we did.
Yep.
Where did this hobby come from for you?
Honestly, I don't know. Where did I went to the solstice, like get together in the Land of Memories, and there was like a tent, and there was like 3 or 4 women who were doing henna, and so I had her put it on my hand, and since then I've always really wanted to do it, and never took the time to like research how to get henna or where to.
Say about a month or so ago you bought some henna for yourself?
Actually, I bought some last year, and then I bought the pre-cones, like the pre-made cones.
Right, because the stuff that you mix yourself comes in like a powder, right?
Yep, comes in the henna powder, and then I make it myself. I'm still working out the kinks in it to get the colors that I want to come out.
Would you say you got a better handle on the consistency?
I have a much better handle on the consistency now
Hey Mom, you know what
than I did before. My first batch was super thick, and I could barely get it out of the tubes. But I was so concerned about like making it too thin that I made it too thick. And it would hurt my hand after putting some on.
Hey Mom.
Trying to squeeze it out?
Trying to squeeze
You know what
it
you
out.
could do? Yes.
And then I gave her a little design next to it. So
Yeah, it's
she's
pretty.
got to leave this sit on there. If she can leave it on there for 2 hours without it flaking off, that would be preferable, because then it will have enough time to soak in and stain the skin properly. Okay, so Phoenix picked this. I don't know if you can see it.
For my fingers.
A little closer, I think. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for my fingers.
For her fingers. So we're going to give it a shot.
Yes. Don't shoot me.
You also got a book. Did that come with the henna, the book, or was that
no,
separate?
I bought that separately. Well, I bought them together, but it was a separate order that I combined.
And when you mix your own henna, there are different ways to do it, different ingredients you can add, and that had some ideas for that, right?
Yes. Yes.
You like to use some essential oils, I've noticed.
Yes.
Very much so. Actually, what the essential oils does is it helps bring out the color and get the dye release to happen quicker, which can take up to 20 hours to 72, depending on the type of henna.
Yes, I have noticed you do some on yourself, and after it flakes off, it doesn't really look that dark, and then we'll come back the next day, and it's a lot more clear.
It's darker, yeah. So this is gonna.
Oh, and then we have an Oliver. So now you mentioned Solstice Festival and Land of Memories.
Yes.
Now, for those that don't live near our area, what is the Solstice Festival?
Well, if you've never heard of solstice, summer solstice is to celebrate summer.
Really? I've never been to one.
So it usually happens the weekend of the 21st of June, around that time. Sometimes I think they do it before, or maybe they just do it on the days. I'm not sure. It's been a couple years since I've been there, but they have music and vendors.
Oh
and
yeah,
just,
I remember.
You know, you can go and hang out. And
Land of Memories is a park in our area, or
yes,
I guess in the next town over, basically.
Yep.
So Casey's gonna get some done now, huh?
He is. He picked his pattern.
All on the hands today, it seems like.
Yeah.
I'm going one on my forehead, maybe.
Casey, what's the most frustrating part about having to sit there while you're getting henna done?
I get really overheated.
You get overheated sitting down? Interesting. Jessica, what's the most frustrating part about doing henna on children?
That they don't sit still. I like these bottles, and I don't like these bottles.
Do you like them better than the pre-made ones?
No, I think I like the cones better. Initially, I thought I was going to like the bottles better, but it's actually harder to squeeze them, which can be good if you're doing fine details so it doesn't like come out. But at the same time, it does wear on one's hands.
I suppose. If you're trying to do filling, I suppose you'd want to take the little point off.
Yes. But you have to be careful because it gets to be very big.
Very thick, very easily.
Very, very quickly. I got into doing henna last year when I bought pre-made cones. I had a lot of fun doing it, and then life just, happened, and I set it down and didn't pick it up for a while, and so I was thinking about my birthday came up, and I was like, what do I really want? And I wanted
Henna.
art supplies and
Henna.
henna. So, and I wanted to try my hand at making my own, and so I got this little bottle.
Which looks very funny, and it looks like poop.
So,
It kind of does look like poop coming out of it.
yeah, it's
but
sort of brown, but so I noticed that these tips here's one here. Let's see if we can see it. Okay. So this is one of several you have. Now, they're different colored. Does that mean anything? Are they different sizes?
They are different sizes. So this is this brown one here is the largest tip I have. This is a little smaller, so we can do more intricate detail.
That yellow one there.
And
I've
if you were to take the
I've
top
seen,
off it would go really thin, but it would also waste a lot of henna.
It goes
It
very
goes really
thick.
thick,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So now I've seen red ones, so they get progressively smaller then?
They do. Which, again, for fine detail, makes it easier. The problem is with the henna that I've made, and it could just be the brand of henna that I got too. With the really fine detail, it doesn't tend to show up as dark as I want it to.
And I would imagine it's a lot harder to squeeze out at
It
that
does,
point.
especially in these. And if I could make my own cones, and then you just, various sizes up the tip, where you would clip it off would determine the size from there.
I suppose, yep, that makes sense. Are there different qualities of henna that you can purchase? I
Oh,
mean, does it get
yes.
quite expensive if you get really high quality stuff?
It can. You can get. I found this one site online, and for like 4 tubes, it was $34.
Okay.
And I think I spent less than that for the box of henna to make my own. So it can get quite the better quality the more expensive it gets.
I would imagine there's
And you want to be careful though too, because certain ones, you don't want the ones that have the dye, like hair dye in it.
hair dye. Oh yeah, yeah.
Because you can use henna for hair dye.
Right.
So you need to be careful, make sure that it's, just henna, not mixed with anything else that could be damaging to your skin.
Right.
And then you always want to do a test run.
To see if it gets dark.
Well, for that, and to see if you have an allergic reaction to it, if you have super sensitive skin. If you're pregnant, you really have to be careful about what type of henna you let people put on your body or you put on your body. Because they're made, most of them are made with essential oils in them, and that can be dangerous.
Cost-wise, because cost is always a factor in, especially when you have kids. Compare it to a hobby like, say, painting. I know you can get very expensive paints, you can get really cheap paints.
I'd say it's probably cheaper than painting.
Cheaper than painting?
Maybe. I don't know, because I've just started out. So like this bottle was kind of expensive. I think this one was like $9, and then I found a different one where you got multiple bottles for the same price, which would be useful, because then I wouldn't have to constantly switch the tips out.
Right.
Okay, so with this, like, paints, depending on what you're doing, you can get cheap ones for like 50 cents a small bottle. But if you have 100 colors, that's $50.
Right.
So
I suppose there's that. And if you want anything higher quality or more expensive than the 50 cent a bottle paints, then it goes up from there, I'm sure.
yes.
Not to mention however many different types of brushes and the canvases and everything else, right?
Yeah, I'm a little particular about my brushes, so I don't
She
like
really
horsehair
loves
personally,
paint.
just because I'm not. I used to do a lot of oil paints, and they were nice because it gives it texture, but with like acrylic paints, it pulls the paint away versus, excuse, making it smooth the way that I want it, I guess.
Really, please subscribe.